Study Unit 1. This presentation is an overview of the research process and research proposals. In this presentation, you will learn the changing view of marketing research process and the phases and integrative task steps involved with research process. Information research process is the systematic gathering, analyzing, interpreting, and transforming of data into decision-making information, such as knowledge. Under the four following situations, a marketing research project is not needed: when the information is already available, when there is insufficient time frame, when there are inadequate resources, and when costs outweigh the value of the research. The four phases of the information research process include: Phase 1. Determining the research problem. Phase 2. Select the appropriate research design. Phase 3. Execute the research design, and Phase 4. Communicate the research results. There are a total of 11 steps fall under these four phases. Phase 1. Determination of the information research problem. Step 1. Identify and clarify information needs. To prepare a formal statement of the problem. Decision problem is a situation in which a manager is not certain which course of action will accomplish a specific objective. The process includes the 5 following steps: determine the decision maker's purpose of research, understand the complete problem situation, identify and separate out measurable symptoms, determine the appropriate unit of analysis, and determine the relevant variables. In order to understand the complete problem, a situation analysis is performed, focusing on the informal gathering of background information to familiarize the researcher with the overall complexity of the decision area. Unit of analysis is who should provide the data: individuals, households, organizations, departments, geographical areas, or some combinations of the above. The primary focus of determining the relevant variable to the situation is to identify the independent and dependent variables. The type of information and specific constructs may include variables like brand awareness or attitudes, satisfaction, purchase intention, importance, demographic, and other relevant variables to the decision problem. Step 2. Specify the research questions and define the research problem. This is to reformulate the problem in scientific terms. It is a critical step. The research problem must be defined correctly because it greatly influences all the remaining research steps. There are two approaches: phrase the question using a general focus, or phrases the research question in very specific terms. Typical business research problems may include poor service encounters, competitors having superior product or service features, new information system is not being used by employees, conflicts in distribution channel, and advertising campaign is not generating new sales prospects. Step 3. Confirm research objectives and assess the value of information. Stated research objectives can act as guidelines for determining which other steps must be undertaken. Research objectives can serve as justification for management and researchers to undertake an information research project. They answer questions like, can the information be collected at all? Does the information tell the decision maker something that not already known? Will the information provide significant insights? Phase 2. Select the appropriate research design. Step 4. Determine the research design and data sources. There are three general categories of research designs: exploratory research, descriptive research, and causal research. Exploratory research design focuses on collecting either secondary or primary data using an unstructured format or informal procedures to interpret them. Examples may include secondary data from census, observing students purchasing food from canteen, focus groups, and in-depth interviews. Descriptive research design uses a set of scientific methods and procedures to collect raw data and create data structures that describe the existing characteristics of a defined target population or market structure, and information that will allow the researchers to model cause and effect relationships between two or more market variables. It is used to understand the relationship between the causal factors and the outcome predicted. There are two main types of data sources: secondary data sources and primary data sources. Secondary data accessed through Internet, library, internal data warehouses, syndicated studies, and etc. Primary data are obtained specifically for current research problem through methods such as the telephone interview, Internet, mail, face-to-face interviews, or observations. Step 5. Determine the sampling plan and sample size. Target population is a specified group of people or objects for which questions can be asked or observations made to develop required data structure and information. Sample is the selected subgroup of people or objects from the overall membership pool of a defined target population. Sampling plan serves as a blueprint for defining the appropriate target populations, identifying the possible respondents, establishing the procedures for selecting the sample, and determining the appropriate size of the sample. There are two major types of sampling methods: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Under probability sampling, each member of the defined target population has a non-chance of being selected in the sample. Sampling error can be determined and findings are generalizable to the population. Under non-probability sampling, the sampling error cannot be measured, which limits the generalizability of any information to the population. Step 6. Assess measurement issues and scales. Measurement process determines how much raw data can be collected and the amount of information can be inferred from the data. Researchers need to answer the following questions. What level of information is needed from a variable? How reliable does the information need to be? How valid does the information need to be? How does one ensure that the scale measurements are reliable and valid? What dimensions underlie the critical factors being investigated? And should single measures or multi-item measures be used to collect the data? Step 7. Design and pretest questionnaire. Questionnaires must be pretested. It could be done with individual representatives of the sample. These respondents complete the questionnaire and comment on issues like clarity of information and questions, sequence of the topics and questions. Designing the data collection form is critical because bad questionnaires produce inaccurate data. Phase 3. Execute the research design. Step 8. Collect and prepare data. Data collection is important because no matter what data analysis method is used, it cannot fix back data. Data collection methods include interviews, questionnaires, and observations. Interviewers ask questions about variables and market phenomena. Questioning methods collect a wide area of data trying to answer why people are behaving as they are, not just how. Observations methods could be natural or contrived, disguised or undisguised, structured or unstructured, direct or indirect, and human, electronic, or mechanical. There are two broad types of errors, sampling error and non-sampling error, under which non-sampling error cannot be measured. Step 9. Analyze data. Before the data is analyzed, it needs to be cleaned first. After data cleaning, the data is checked to verify it has been correctly input from the collection form or computer file, and there are no problems such as missing data, suspicious response patterns, or outliers. Under data analysis, first, a data structure needs to be created by combining two or more variables into indexes, ratios, and constructs. Different data analysis procedures enable the researchers to statistically test a hypothesis for significant differences or correlations among several variables, to evaluate their quality, and to test models of cause-effect relationships. Marketers are both senders and receivers of messages. As senders, marketers inform, persuade, and remind the target market to adopt courses of action. As receivers, marketers attune themselves to the target market in order to develop and adapt messages and spot new communication opportunities. Step 10. Transform data structures into information. Under this step, the results of statistical analysis are interpreted and information is created for decision makers. Phase 4. Communicate the research results. Step 11. Prepare and present the final report to management. The research proposal outline includes purpose of proposed research project, type of study, definition of target population and sample size, sample design and data collection method, specific research instruments, potential managerial benefits, proposed cost for total project, profile of research company, and optional dummy tables of projected results. The last step is one of the most important phases of market research. The report or its presentation communicate the result to the clients. To summarize, the information research process consists of 4 distinct phases: determine the research problem, select the appropriate research design, execute the research design, and communicate the research results. To achieve the overall objective of each phase, researchers must be able to successfully execute 11 interrelated task steps. Reflection question: what kind of research design would be the best for Mossberger whose purpose is to learn more about the current consumers' like or dislike about the fast food restaurant.